from landing on top of the head. It was the temple shot. It was more of it was like it was a knockdown, but it was like a stumbly kind of. Yeah. Wasn't right clean on the jaw.
This is round number 5. Nate Diaz was born the day after the memorable war between Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns, April 16, 1985. Same beat as Papa Ronaldo watching tonight in the mighty metropolis of Mount Lehman, British Columbia, Canada. But the reason I bring that up is because Masvidal said this would not be Hagler-Hearns. He doesn't want to compare Diaz to that. He said it wasn't going to be a war. It was going to be an ass-kicking. Well, so far Diaz has something to say about that.
Well, I guess Masvidal forgot about Nate Diaz's gas tank and his work rate, right, Sugar?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Nate's putting on a beautiful performance right now.
Masvidal trained 10 days with Roy Jones Jr. Speaking of, you all must have forgotten. And of course, our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the Jones family after that recent tragic loss. But here with just over 2 minutes left in the first half of this scheduled 10 rounds.
Ooh, there's a switch.
What's
that was nice.
What's your
right
assessment, Showtime, so far?
I love that switch and that overhand right there that just came from Masvidal. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that.
From a boxing standpoint, what do you think from what you've seen from these two neophyte boxers?
Well, what I want to see from Masvidal, I want to see that right there, more body work. But in terms of the positioning, in terms of the way these guys are releasing their shots, not too bad.
Masvidal now opening up on Diaz. Sugar, what is your take as we have a minute and a half left in the first half of the fight?
Man, I'm truly enjoying being able to sit this close to this fight. Yeah, Nate's kind of putting it on, but Jorge will every once in a while land a couple nice, hard combos, but Nate's looking really good.
Oh, Diaz winding up with a
little Roy Jones.
Gonna get a little bolo action.
Here for the game and all that come with it.
Moving forward, I gotta ask you, Sugar, moving forward, when Nate gets hit clean, because he's the one getting hit clean with some bigger punches, should I be concerned at all?
No.
He's eating it all.
He's got a carbon fiber chin, right, Mr.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some people that don't go down, and Nate's one of those guys.
He's teak tough. Ooh, nice double right hook to the body by Masvidal.
I think you could hit Nate with a baseball bat on the head, and I don't think he'd go down.
And what about to the body?
The body, I mean, everyone's susceptible to a liver shot.
Oh, there's the jabs. A series of jabs by Diaz has Masvidal momentarily in the corner. Then Masvidal explodes with a combination of his own back in the southpaw stance.
Masvidal's punches are landing a lot harder, but Nate is just overwhelming him with punches.
The pace has abated a bit, but again, they were firing. Oh, nice combination by Masvidal. And we are through the first of this 107
that was nice.
fight. And a beautiful combination by Masvidal. A great fight.
That was nice. Stop throwing punches at you.
It make you look bad, right?
It make you look bad.
At the midpoint of the fight as we begin round
Is he coming out
number 6.
orthodox?
I'm sorry, why I get so excited?
Sixth round.
Masvidal, 88 of 333, 26% clip. Diaz, 70 of 376, 19%. And they're not landing at a high rate when it comes to power shots, but they're busy, and considering their relative inexperience as a boxer, they're putting on a show
right
for the
hand.
crowd, and there is the right hand.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Masvidal is going to try to run Nate into some right hands. I think he's got it set up.
And you wonder, because he is so much more experienced and better at orthodox, why it took him so long to go to orthodox.
And I got one for you. Terrence Crawford starts every fight as an orthodox, and then switches up.
But that's Terrence Crawford, a pound for pound king. Number 1 in the United States. Hashtag Diaz Masvidal.
The reason for the switch, though, you get your opponent moving in a certain direction. You create that rhythm. Then once you switch up, that opponent isn't able to get off of that rhythm. That's something that Terrence does, and I think that's what Masvidal is trying to do.
Masvidal is a student of the game. Again, has gleaned information from so many boxing luminaries, but Diaz continues to put on the pressure. Minute 45 left in the 6th.
And now Jorge making me look bad because he went back to southpaw. He went back to
right hand by Diaz. Nice jab by Masvidal, but it's the volume by Diaz. Has Masvidal cornered.
This might be the first fight Nate hasn't bled.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, yeah. And it's so impressive Nate can just keep this pace up.
Yeah. Body shot by Masvidal as he tries to slow down his pace, and that's one way to do it. Attack that body like it's filled with candy. Just over a minute left in the 6th. Cuffing right hook by Diaz. And it's again, death by 1,000 punches. It's that constant volume. Not a lot of pop, but that's never been his calling card.
Good body work.
Ooh. Wear you down.
Both these guys are in tremendous shape.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
They came to throw down.
Big exchange right there.
Yep. Nice jab, slips through the kickable guard by Masvidal. The jab from Diaz. "30 seconds left in the 6th. Diaz missing wildly with that right. Masvidal backing up. There's a nice counter left hand by Masvidal. That step stopped Diaz momentarily, but only momentarily.
Good hook right
Lead
there.
right hook, yeah, by Diaz. Oh, nice counter left, and again, you asked how tough his chin is, Mr. Porter. You're seeing it on display. Diaz takes a lot of punishment, Sugar, but boy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Man, that style. That is a... Woo! They landed on Nate, but Nate backed up for about a split second, then right back on him.
Pivotal role in the Diaz corner. The cut man stitched Duran, not needed yet, and with Diaz, he's always going to have swelling around the eye, and we're seeing it already build, but if he does suffer a cut, he's got one of the best in the business in his corner in Stitch Duran as round 7 begins, and Diaz continues to walk down Masvidal.
Jorge's got to trust his cardio and believe in that second win.
And that's something too, Masvidal. More feints. We could see more feints.
Yeah. Feints cause, you know, feinting fast, making someone flinch takes a lot of energy. So you're gonna get a lot less feints in these later rounds, especially if he's getting a little bit tired.
Yep.
But trust in that.
It could be effective, but
yes,
you're right.
Very well could be.
Well, this. Oh, Diaz eats a punch, and again, showboating is one thing, but here you are in the main event of this pay-per-view in front of a sold-out crowd, and of course Diaz wants to exercise the demon. It's funny, it was in this building, the Honda Center, after beating Anthony Pettis, who we saw in action earlier tonight. When Diaz won in the octagon, he called out Jorge Masvidal, and that was the planting of the seeds for the ceremonial BMF title fight in the octagon. And here they are, back at the Honda Center, meeting in the boxing ring.
I definitely felt there was like some symbolism with us coming here tonight for this fight.
And kudos to Masvidal. Here's a guy again who holds a victory over Nate Diaz, and yet calling Diaz a diva in terms of negotiations. Diaz being the A side, coming out last, and Masvidal acquiescing to all of it. And now wanting to make Diaz pay for those demands, but a competitive affair here.
See, that's the transition that I'm talking about. When you go to the body, go with some serious intent. Yeah. That's how you hurt somebody.
Jab by Masvidal, another jab from the southpaw stance.
Hook off the jab right there from Masvidal.
The hook from Diaz.
Got the switch now.
Under a minute left in the 7th round.
Clearly both men took this fight very serious.
Very much.
This is a high output, very competitive fight.
Ripping the right hand of the body is Masvidal. Going upstairs. Diaz gets countered again. Diaz turns. Beautiful combination. Body, head. And Diaz putting it on Masvidal, but Masvidal still able to counter effectively. Hard shots.
Listen, tonight is going to be, for the judges, all about what do you like, the work rate or the quality.
Well,
yes, sir.
What you like should be what the criteria calls for. Clean, effective punching.
Absolutely.